welcome everybody to this series of Keep It Simple. And in this series, we are going to be talking about Microsoft Excel. I know a lot of people out there use Excel in the workforce, in their personal life, or freelancing, whatever the case may be. A lot of people use it, but a lot of people don't really know the capabilities of what Excel can do. So what I'm going to do throughout this series is make a number of videos just going through the basic formulas, and then as we get more in depth in these videos, we're going to be talking about more of the logical formulas, such as the if and the and if or ors. Then we're going to look at some lookup and references, such as VLOOKUP, index and match, and then we're going to move on to more really in-depth features such as data analysis, some VBA or Visual Basic for applications. We're really going to touch on what Excel can do for you, not only in your workplace to help you be more productive, but also how you can automate a lot of different tasks that people just don't know Excel can do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's hop right in, and we're going to be talking about the sum, the SumIf, and the SumIfs. So the sum formula. This is going to actually do exactly what it says. It's going to sum the different cells that you are about ready to reference. So before you actually put in any kind of formula, you need to hit the equal key. That's going to let Excel know that you're about ready to type in a formula. So we'll go ahead and we'll start typing in sum. You notice when you start typing in, Excel is going to auto-populate the different formulas that may pertain to what you just typed in. In this case, we're just going to hit the tab key because we're already on sum, and that's going to lock in our sum formula. Now you'll notice Excel is actually asking us for the different parameters, and Excel's really good about that. No matter what formula you input, it's always going to show you what parameters it is expecting you to input. So in this case, it's asking you for number 1. Well, a lot of people will go and they'll click on this one cell that they want to calculate, comma. Now you notice it's asking for cell number 2, so they'll click on that, comma, and so on and so forth until they finally select all of the cells that they want to enter. You can do that. That's fine if you don't have very many cells, but in this case we have multiple cells that we want to calculate. So if you just click and hold down with your right mouse click on the very first field, and then you just scroll down to the last one you want to capture and let go, now you notice it's putting F2 colon and then F21. We're going to go ahead and end that off and hit the enter key. That just calculated up this entire row of data here, and you'll notice down here at the bottom the number, whatever you highlighted, will sum, give you the count, and give you the average of whatever you have highlighted. In this case, we're looking at the sum, and we can see that this number matches what we just inputted up here. So that's the sum. It's pretty basic. A lot of people's already going to know how to do that. That was mainly geared towards, beginners just now getting in and trying to figure out exactly what Excel can do. But one more thing I wanted to touch on this sum formula is if you come to the bottom of any column that has numbers or other data that you need to sum up, just go to the bottom, and then up here in the top right you see a button that says auto sum. If you just click that, that actually highlights every cell above it except the header. You can just hit enter and it's going to calculate all of that for you. So if you ever need to use that at the bottom of a worksheet that you want to do, by all means, you have that option. Alright, so now let's move on to the SumIf. So the SumIf is actually going to be the same exact thing that we just did on the sum formula, except this time we're going to add an if condition in there. So it's only going to sum if it meets a condition or it does not meet a condition, whatever we put in. So for anybody that's new to Excel or new to programming, an if statement is you're basically saying that something is equal to true or false. And I'll give you an example of an if statement really quick. If I put equals and then if and then hit my tab key, if 1 equals 1, then comma. Now it's asking me, okay, if 1 is equal to 1, then what do you want me to do? Value for true, right? So we'll just say true, comma. Now it's asking you over here, well, what is the value if it's false? So in other words, what do you want me to do if 1 does not equal 1? Well, in this case, I'm going to say, I want you to tell me false. So an if statement is that simple. You're saying, what's the logical test? In this case, I'm saying 1 is equal to 1. If the value is true, I'm going to say true. If the value is false, I'm going to say false. So I'll end that, hit enter. You see it's true. Now if I come up here and I say 1 is equal to 2, now you see it's false. So that's just a real quick study of how the if statement is going to work. So in this case, we're going to use a SumIf. So I'm going to say sum and then if. I'm going to hit my tab key and it's asking me for the range. What range do you want me to see on the if condition? Well, I'm going to say column C. And I'm going to highlight all of column C and I'm going to hit comma. Now it's asking me, well, what is the criteria? Well, here's where we're going to put in our if criteria. We're going to say, well, we want to know if it's equal to high. So it's going to look through all of this data here and it's going to say only the things that are high I'm worried about. We're going to go comma. Now it's asking us, okay, which range do you want me to sum up if C2 through C21 equals high? So I'm going to select all of column F data. I'm going to end it and hit enter. So now we can see that it is $19,113.79 for the sum of column F where column C is equal to high. Okay, so let's take a look at the SumIfs formula. Again, it's going to be the same thing as the SumIf formula, except this time instead of saying sum the data if this condition is met, we're going to say sum this data if 2 or more conditions are met. So we'll go ahead, we'll type in equals to start our formula, start typing in sum, and we see all of the information coming down. You can either just type in IFS to finish it out, or on your keyboard, just press down until you get to it, and then hit your tab key to lock it in. One thing you'll notice about this formula versus the regular SumIf formula is on the SumIf formula, it was asking us what range we wanted to sum up at the end of the formula. This particular SumIfs formula is asking us for the sum range at the very beginning. So we'll go ahead and we'll select all of our data in column F because that's what we want to sum, comma. Now it's asking us for the criteria range 1. What is the first range you want to do an if condition on? So we'll say all of column C, comma. Now it's asking us, okay, what condition would you like to run on that column? So we'll say where it's equal to high, comma. Now it's asking for criteria range 2. What other column do you want to place an if condition on before we sum this data? In this case, we'll use column A for order ID, comma. Now it's asking us for criteria range 2. On that column that we just selected, what would you like it to equal or not equal? So we'll go ahead and we'll say equals 807. End our quote. So really quick to step through this, we are saying we want to sum everything F2 through F21. Here, C2 through C21 is equal to high, and the columns A2 through A21 equal 807. So we'll go ahead, end this, hit enter, and we get 0. Well, why didn't it work? It did. The formula is actually doing exactly what we told it to do. We are summing everything in the F column where the C column is equal to high and the A column is equal to 807. Well, if you notice, on 807, neither one of these are high, so it's 0. If we take this and we take out the high and we replace this with medium and hit enter, now we get the data. Well, that basically concludes the SumIf, and the SumIfs. We will probably be going into more detail later on about these, but for right now I think that's a pretty good start for this first video of the series. Again, if you liked it, go ahead and leave me a like and a subscribe. I will be posting out more of these videos as the time comes around, so if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will talk to you later.